as stylists, like I was saying in the beginning, they're still broke in
Right.
general, right? You have the
Yeah.
1%, and then you have medium, a little bit of medium, and then you have everybody else. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
My question for you is when did, because I started doing hair in 1996, long
Hmm.
time ago. And it's been the mindset literally up into, I think, now. Maybe the
Yeah.
door's opening now. So when did fully booked become the goal? And who told us that that meant success? Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it
Yeah.
doesn't mean successful just because you're fully booked.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I think that's a pretty common misconception because it really has been the goal is, for a while there was that tagline, six-figure stylist, like become a six-figure stylist, and everybody's course was that. And, I am a big believer in there's room for everybody in the education space and everybody learns differently and has different stuff to share. So it's not really that I have any issues with. I mean, I don't have any issues with any of it, but I get it. Um, and I think that was the goal, like be fully booked and make six figures. And I think that is kind of shifted in the past couple years. I think you're totally right. I think people are more striving to make money, but still have the option to do what they want to do as far as the kind of clientele and also to have a bit more balance. That's been such a theme of the past couple years is I don't want to work like 100 hours a week and still sometimes not have anything to show for it. But I do think sometimes with the like, obsession with having a full clientele, because I was like that too. It was like, oh, I've made it if I have a full clientele. But a lot of times then
Mhm.
you get caught up in how do I raise prices for those people? How do I actually make money with this? How do I cut back on my schedule when these clients are so loyal and blah blah blah. And then you kind of get in the trap of like you're stuck at your income. And I think we always have to just be thinking about just kind of like what's next. And you could have, like you said, you could be fully booked and make no money because you are
Mhm.
either just, I mean, for me, for a long time, it was every appointment was taking me like 6 hours. So it's like, okay, unless I'm charging $1,000, literally, I'm not ever going to make money because I'm seeing one client a day. And it just is not really a great solution. I mean, in the beginning, of course, and you're learning, but I think, yeah, a full book is not just the be all and end all of success in the beauty industry. I totally agree.
Yeah, and you're right. There was that narrative of six-figure stylist. That was that was the baseline,
Mhm.
right? And
Everywhere.
to be that, you have to be booked and busy. And you're right. The mindset is shifting, and there's still nuances with the new mindset, especially for the younger generation. It's like, well, don't
Yeah.
start there. I mean, you still you
Right.
still have
Yeah.
to pay your dues, uh, newbies. I mean, you do,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so with we have, as you said, we have more business education in this industry than we've ever had before, because
Yeah.
that's the other thing now. That's the new be a six-figure stylist. Let me coach you
Right.
on how to be successful, right?
Right.
So
Totally.
why are so many stylists still broke, burnout, or even both for that matter? I mean, there's more than ever. Is it our mentality? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of things, honestly. I think a big thing is, after COVID, it was really a stylist's market. Like we could be very selective. People were desperate to get their hair done after not being able to. They realized, oh, I love getting my hair done, blah, blah, blah. And then slowly, I feel like it shifted to being a client's market where they're so selective. Any little thing that is not perfect gets publicized. I mean, lately there's been these videos of people crying in their car on TikTok
Yeah,
about hair that, okay, fine, maybe some of it isn't the stylist's best work. Who am I to judge? But a lot of it is completely great and like they'll show the inspo photos and I'm like, ma'am, they completely nailed it. And I
right.
think that is discouraging. And the thing is, these people do this before they even tell the stylist, like, hey, I don't love it. So that kind of stuff gets extremely exhausting, just constantly trying to keep up and please clients when obviously that's a huge part of the job. It's a customer service job, but I think there's a lot of fear of like, okay, what if this client doesn't like it? Is she going to go online and blast me? And it feels very defeating. So I feel like to your point about there being so much business education, that's great, but there's such an emotional piece to hair that is really beyond your business. And
Mhm.
you could learn all day how to open a bank account and a savings account and how to make profit and what is your profit and do extensions so you make more money. And that is a huge part of it. And I think sometimes we just, again, our mind slips back to, okay, full book and I'm set. But we really need to explore that. Like maybe we add in extensions if we're looking to work less and make more, or the emotional piece of it and like actually learning how to deal with the fact that you're not for everybody. I mean, that's something that took me so many years. And honestly, if people had been making those TikTok videos when I first started out, like, I don't know if I would have continued. So I think there's such a big piece of it that is emotional that makes people feel burned out because you're constantly in that rat race of like trying to please your clients and doing whatever you can. And I mean, there's a million amazing clients out there, but those like two that weren't happy and blast you, like those stick with you. So I think it's a lot about that that feels discouraging.
Yeah, and you made a good point. Like generationally, we all came into the industry at different eras,
Hmm.
different times. So I talk about this now being a mother of adult sons. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, I have to parent you differently, but I don't necessarily
Right.
know how to do that. But with older stylists telling young stylists, well, this is what I would have done and what you should do. Well, you didn't enter in the way they've entered in.
Totally.
You didn't have voices
Right.
constantly in your ear and in your face, and to your point, women crying in their car over their haircut, right?
Yeah.
So, it is a very emotional game today more than ever,
Yep.
so much exposure, it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
And that's a perfect segue into my next question, because I think it's information over versus implementation at this point.
Yes.
We get all this
Totally.
information, like me going to CreatorCon, and I haven't done a damn thing since. Did I make a clip? Did I go back and create a 3-second hook? No, I did not do that.
I
Okay.
get that.
So, right. So why do you think a stylist, just and starting with me, will spend $3,000, okay, on a hair class without blinking an eye, but
Right.
tremble at the thought of raising their prices by $20.
Oh yeah.
Isn't
No,
that wild?
yeah, I think that is a classic situation. I think majority of hairstylists can agree. I get that. I do that same thing, you know? I think it's again just like there's a lot of fear and just what will happen if. And then I like to just go to the absolute worst case scenario. Okay, like literally what is the worst case, especially the price raising thing because this is something where I really really struggle because I am just an emotional discounter and we have this thing as hairstylists where we just think like we shouldn't get paid a lot. I don't know, and I do think that's like you were saying when you got in the industry, and even me, I started in 2007. It was
Mhm,
not like people are getting into this to make $1 million by any means. So I think it's this mentality that a lot of us still have, but it's like there's so much money to be made in this industry. But I do think as far as your thing with information versus implementation, I think that's classic because people are taking a step like that is scary.
mhm,
Even
mhm,
the price
mhm.
thing, I was saying, okay, what's the worst case? Literally all my clients leave me. They all leave me and they send me terrible things. I mean, is that likely? No, but okay, literally worst case scenario. And what would
Yes.
I do? You know, same with posting on social media. That is like a classic story of, you get excited about it and you're like, this could change my life, whatever. And then just doing it is really hard. But I think with everything in life, unpredictability is scary and you haven't done those things if you haven't raised your prices in a while or you don't know people's reactions, you haven't posted on social media, like how's it going to go, is nobody going to say anything, is it going to be horrible, people are going to be mean, probably yes, all of those things honestly at some point. But I do think it's just stepping outside of yourself, and this is so much easier said than done. I mean, once you get in a routine
Mhm,
with anything and it's a bit more predictable, I think it becomes a lot easier. But putting yourself in that uncomfortable position to start with is really hard. So I get that. For people it's uh, just one of those things, the power that it has to raise your prices or to start posting on social media or to whatever, the good that comes out of that is so much greater than the potential little bit of bad stuff. So I don't know. I have to kind of like give myself a pep talk and say, okay, well, whatever, people might hate me and be mad, but I'm doing it anyway. But it's way easier said than done for sure.